I wanted to share this one story about a client of mine. She had an issue of dealing with consistency in her life. She was constantly traveling, and the most consistent part about her life was the inconsistency of her lifestyle. Constantly going from work to coming back home when she was flying on her rest weeks, that FIFO lifestyle. And it wasn't until we started having our initial discussion that she realized how much of a mindset shift that she needed to make the change. It was a huge, I suppose, in essence, a shift for her to make a better lifestyle for her lifestyle with her partner, a better lifestyle for her future family to come. It was just really interesting to see how this evolved, and it was through our weekly coaching calls, our ability to understand the strategies and the methods behind what we do. And it was fantastic to even now when we reflect upon where she was to where she is now, she's just overwhelmed with absolute gratitude. It is just makes my day worthwhile. But it was very fascinating to see where she thought the other pillars in life weren't as fascinating to what I wanted to do when I inquired on these certain questions. Every time we had these chats, and it was no matter where she was, whether she was at home or even on holidays. I remember her even so committed to make a change that she would do all her measurements. She would keep her workouts going, even when in holidays up in Bali. But it was when she was at work or when she was at home, she had one consistent element, and that was the drive, the motivation that was provided in the Alyssa Power program. It was really good as well to actually see how she changed physically, emotionally, her attachment as well with different things. Even when something wasn't going to plan for her, a particular hurdle that came through her life, she was then able to approach it with a completely different attitude. She was able to let things go. And it was in that moment when she was able to let things go, she actually was able to gain more control in her life. And that was the thing. For a lot of people, they think that they need to get more control in their life. They want to start controlling their destiny in their relationships and in their health, in their business or career, whatever relationship they're trying to strengthen. And in strengthening the pillar of health, it flowed into so many different aspects of her life. And it was really great to see. And from there, we were able to illustrate the benefits of where she was to where she is now, and still ever growing. It was fantastic to see. And I suppose that was a really strong element for her in her journey, her constant ever-changing journey. Even when she starts changing jobs, there was always that one strong element of developing the right strategies, the techniques, the methods. When she wanted to, when she needed them the most, she knew what she had to do. She knew that to get herself motivated to get out of bed, she had to do our discussed items that we would always cover every week. And even sometimes when you have those hurdles in life when we have our discussions, our catch-ups, for her to constantly receive a really positive thread of motivation and understanding behind the why. A lot of people ask, what's your why? What do you do? Why do you do it? That's your strong pillar. But it's actually not always the case. It's also understanding as well, because when we learn something, it sits in the forefrontex of our cerebellum. However, that is only coming to a point when you try and achieving a peak performance in yourself for your life. It's actually more beyond that. It's beyond the point of your your conscious, but digging it down to your subconscious. And that was a really great part, because it's now ingrained. It becomes a new blueprint in your life. So for this client, it was a fantastic opportunity for her to creating a new blueprint and sustaining it. That's the hardest part when you're trying to make that change. And there will be things that will almost persuade you to get back into your old habits. But for her, she's developed these incredible strengthening routines and rituals every morning and every night. And it's just so admirable to see where she's come from. And it was purely just by her taking that step, and for her was to get out of her comfort zone and being understanding and aware of what she needed to make that change.